Yo, what is going on, everyone in the crypto space? Thank you guys for tuning in to the channel today. Really do appreciate it. Now, I do have some very exciting information for you guys today. Now, again, this does have to do with R3, and I just do want to start off by saying this doesn't 100% involve XRP as of now. So, to public knowledge, this has nothing to do with XRP. But this is a big development by a company who has recently invested heavily on top of the XRP ecosystem and is building a platform on top of the XRP ledger. I may know them called R3, right? We've been discussing that over the last few days quite a bit. Now, yesterday it was just announced that the Corda settler has XRP integrated within it. But now R3 does make another announcement. Coincidence or not, it's the day after announcing the Corda settler. So I see this tweet today, and it says R3 is excited to announce the alpha trial of Instant Property Network on Corda. At Instant PropNet, Instant Property Network streamlines the buying and selling of property, enabling all participants involved to join up their systems and transact directly. When I first saw this, my mind was absolutely blown away, especially when I click on the infograph here and they have everything from the seller, the conveyancer, the estate agent, the surveyor, the insurance company, the land registry, tax, buyer, mortgage lender. I mean, that's kind of crazy when you really think about it, this use case that R3 is going after. Now, R3 doesn't have their own native token to their network really, but they have adopted XRP. So, I mean, this is kind of a use case I can really see being developed by the blockchain industry. A lot of currencies really don't have that much utility in cryptocurrency, in my opinion. But platforms like this that are being built by companies a little bit more blockchain focused rather than on the actual, the currency side, it seems like they're really taking the initiative now to start building some new platforms, along with, how they're building Moji Loop and whatnot with Microsoft, Swift, and Ripple. I mean, there are actually some really compelling use cases here for blockchain where XRP could easily be the intermediary of. So I go ahead and I click the link to go to the R3 marketplace, which is like their beta site, and it says the Instant Property Network. So to join the alpha trial of the Instant Property Network, streamlining the transaction of property to unlock the $217 trillion real estate market. Now, when we're talking XRP, we're mainly focused on what's transferred globally, really throughout the day, and it's around 5 to 7 trillion, depending on different sources. Multiple sources either say 5 or 7 trillion. So I'll say worst case scenario, $5 trillion are sent around every single day, right? So, and then also we have the whole $27 trillion locked up in dormant capital. Well, we haven't realized that there's a whole network of property that could essentially be tokenized, which is absolutely just insane if you think about it. So again, I do want to repeat myself when I do say this right now does not have 100% to do with XRP. We don't know if it even has XRP involved or not. It's not public knowledge yet. But I mean, it could be a good coincidence how just yesterday they launched Corda settler, which integrates with XRP, and now they're announcing the Instant Property Network. So maybe, just maybe, the company R3, who is building a platform on top of the XRP ecosystem, could be trying to use XRP for settling real estate transactions. So it says right here that R3, they want to develop this Instant Property Network to be like the Amazon for properties, which I think is a really good analogy, actually. So they say, imagine a world in which property assets could be traded domestically and even globally in days, not months. A world in which it is easy as secure to buy a property online as it is to order goods from Amazon. I mean, Amazon is so widely adopted. They're probably one of the best examples of a successful startup. I mean, honestly, I have people in the chat during the stream one time saying, like, I literally buy everything from groceries to tech to parts for my car, everything on Amazon. And Amazon, I think, is one of the best examples of a successful startup. So they say, R3 continues to say, Instant Property Network is making the vision a reality by enabling all participants involved in the property buying and selling process to join up their systems and transact directly, reducing the time, complexity, risk, and cost of buying and selling property. So this is where I could sort of relate the real estate market in a sense to Swift, because Swift transactions can take like 5, 7, 6, 7, 8 days, depending on which corridor you're actually trying to operate in. But selling property it can be a it can really be lengthy process. For the buyer, not so much, because with the seller, you got to get the pictures ready, you got to list it, you got to wait for someone to buy in, or not. You got to wait for someone to kind of get really interested in it, make an offer. I mean, it can be a really long time, because really you have to do everything in a physical manner. For the most part, everything's in a physical manner. Some of it can be documented online and stuff like that. But real estate, for the most part, usually does take months to truly sell. What's it called? About a year ago, when my grandma was actually moving down from the mountains, because of like health conditions, she really couldn't live up there by herself anymore. When we were selling that property, I remember, even though like the mountain property, which was a cabin, by the way, was actually a very hot item on the market, because it had a perfect view over the Sierra Nevadas and everything, right? And even though that property was hot, and then she got an offer about a week later after listing it, it actually took about a month and a half, I want to say 2 months, to fully like get the deal through and sign everything through, and then transfer the ownership of that property to the buyer. So it really does take quite a long time and is quite inefficient. However, when you are dealing with some major purchase as real estate, I don't think it's much of an issue as just sending a $300 payment. But at the same time, how good would that be for real estate transaction to happen domestically? And look how they say here, they say even globally, in days. They're not just saying domestic transactions in the US, they're also saying domestically and globally in days, not months. And that could really accelerate the real estate market, which I think is a very fascinating concept. So again, no, I just want to make this clear. 100% has nothing to do with XRP as of now. We don't even know if XRP is involved or is planned to be involved. We have no clue. This is just R3 is a blockchain company who's building on top of the XRP ecosystem, and they just so happen to announce the instant property network the day after the core to settle, which integrates with XRP. Which I think I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to say that's a coincidence, but honestly, the fact that you say domestically and globally, I mean, what better way to handle the $217 trillion market of real estate than to denominate it by XRP and make fees incredibly low, and pretty much also get it to where, I think it's a little bit off topic, but if you're on the instant property network and it's kind of like an Amazon, you can pretty much cut real estate, like real estate brokers out of the, like a real estate agent out of the process, because now you have a whole network connected to property where you don't need the so actually the seller could really save like 5 to 10% probably on the actual fees, because real estate agents, they take like 3-4% of the total selling price, and let's say your house is like $300,000-$400,000, that's like 13, 15, 18 something grand just for trying to find an agent to sell your property. So if R3 could truly create a network, the instant property network, have it denominated in XRP and completely tokenized on a whole platform where it's like the Amazon of properties, now you're not only accelerating the liquidity of the real estate market, but now you're also cutting middlemen out of the process, so sellers can get more money for their property through the instant property network. It's seriously, guys, technology is getting to an absolutely insane point. So I just wanted to update you guys on that with R3. Also, just because I do want to kind of help out the ecosystem. So they are going to start it in February 2019, is going to be the alpha trial. Let's just start calling it the IPN. And by the way, just to, kind of help R3, get their trial going. So if anybody watching this video, if you are part of land registry, real estate agent, mortgage lender, conveyancer, insurance provider, or part of a tax department, you are eligible to apply for the alpha trial. So I highly suggest, if you are relating, if one of these categories does fit your occupation, go ahead, contact R3, and I'll drop a link for this website down below. So, out of the topic of XRP potentially being in the middle of a $217 trillion real estate market, accelerating liquidity and causing growth by just saving money from the middleman, and really accelerating the process like they are with Swift. So, last kind of thing I do want to discuss in this video. Usually in videos, I kind of like to discuss them a little bit off topic, but still important at the end of the video. So, this actually came out 6 hours ago from CNBC. Bipartisan lawmakers seek cryptocurrency rules to protect consumers and keep the U.S. competitive. Key word there, really, again, protect consumers, but also more importantly, is keeping the U.S. competitive. Now, it says members of the House are introducing 2 bills that could bring more oversight and less opacity to the cryptocurrency industry. I said one bill directs the CFTC to describe how price manipulation should happen in virtual markets, then recommend regulatory changes. Because I know one concern of the ETF. That is not good news. One thing that the regulators were concerned with the ETF was that they would source the price essentially of the asset from unregulated exchanges. And that was a problem for them. So what the government's actually really wanting to see now, from my research, is that they do want to see price tracking, but it being regulated. Because what can happen is, let's say like an unregulated exchange, like I don't know, let's say like livecoins.net, like really low, not regulated exchange. Let's say, the ETFs and these institutional backed exchanges were to source the actual data for the current value of it from an unregulated exchange. That's not a very reliable source of information, to be bringing onto an institutional platform. So really what I'm seeing now is that the federal government, they want to see price tracking, but they want to do it in a regulated manner. Because a big concern is how they're going to track the price. Because if they track it from just some, random exchange out in the crypto market they have nothing to do with, that can be dangerous, since they're kind of relying on a whole platform of trade to go on based on this other random platform's price. So they do want to see regulated price tracking. So again, guys, this sort of ties into the video we made a couple days ago about the wave of regulation coming, and I don't see this right here being coincidence. 2 months after we start seeing cryptocurrency lobbying groups pop up. So I believe the politicians are getting a couple bucks, but hey, in the end, we get crypto regulation and I get an R34 GTR. I'm happy. So anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to drop a like, subscribe, check the links in the description if you want to support the channel. Get yourself Nano S, keep that cryptocurrency nice and safe, and make sure to turn on those post notifications so you never miss a video or a stream. So guys, now we're seeing a blockchain company who is building on top of the XRP ledger, also trying to build into the $217 trillion real estate market, which, if it does use XRP, if the instant property network uses XRP, and keyword here, instant, how does it not use XRP? And also, by the way, if they're saying they're trying to trade property assets domestically and globally in days, if they're saying they want to transfer property assets globally in days, you guys know gosh darn well they're not using Swift, because you are not going to get you'd be lucky to get a transaction within a matter of a few days. So pretty crazy stuff there. If XRP could be the intermediary of the $217 trillion real estate market, if you could tokenize it and just accelerate the process, making it more of a liquid market and actually saving fees by getting rid of the real estate agents. Seriously, guys, there is an endless amount of use cases for XRP. Any platform or any business model or any market that transfers money through, which is pretty much everything, XRP has utility. So again, thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure, do let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Always enjoy hearing your guys' insight, and I'll see you guys in the next one.